Hi, I'm JJ Virgin and welcome to this month's 4x4 workout. Fast, fun, and in 15 minutes you are done. So as a member of my Fit Club, you get a monthly workout, and in the middle of the month I also send you out some special little tips to keep you energized and motivated. Now if you're not a member yet, where the heck have you been? Go to jjsfitclub.com and join up. It's $9.95 a month and you get a $29 starter kit. Free, love that word. So let's get started. This month we are going to do plies. And by the way, if you're a guy, you can do squats instead. I mean, you can do plies and we won't tell, but the dude variation are squats. We're gonna do upright rows. We're gonna do dips, my favorite. And then for power core, we're going to do planks, not my favorite, and seated abs. So get ready, I'm gonna go over each of them and how to do them correctly and what to avoid. Now, what you'll need this month is you'll need some kind of a bench or chair to do the dips off of. You'll need a mat and you'll need some dumbbells. All right, for plies, what you're gonna do is step out wide and you're gonna turn your feet out, but make sure the turnout happens at your hips, not your feet. Otherwise your knees are gonna be the thing that suffer. Okay, so turn out from your hips, stand tall, belly button to your spine. And as you do this, you're gonna bend your knees so they come out over your toes. That's the direction. And you really want to keep your spine fairly lengthened here. You're not leaning forward, okay? And your belly button's pulled in tight so that you're working your quads, the front of your thighs, your glutes, and your inner and outer thighs. Now again, if you're a guy, you can switch over to squats, okay? Or you're in the privacy of your own home. If you want to do plies and kind of harness your inner ballerina or ballet dancer, you go right ahead. We won't tell. Okay, as a variation, one other thing you can do is you can always use one dumbbell if you don't have a heavy enough set of dumbbells, and you can just hold one just like this. So there's your other variation. But again, you should be feeling this in the front of the thighs, the glutes, and the inner and outer thighs, and make sure you stay standing up straight and tall, shoulders over the hips, knees angling out over the feet, over the second toe. For upper body pulling, we're going to do upright rows, which work your shoulders, your upper back, and your biceps. Now, what I want you to do with these, stand with your feet shoulder width apart, knees are soft, belly button pulled to the spine, okay? That should just be a given. Now what you want to feel like is you're tracing an imaginary line up your body, and your elbows should not come up higher than your shoulders. So you lift your elbows up, your hands come along for the ride. That's what you want to think of. And you keep your weights together. Okay, and again, it's working your shoulders, your upper back, and your biceps. We're going to do dips for upper body pushing. Now dips are my favorite upper body pushing exercise. I don't know a better exercise out there for toning up your triceps, the back of your arms. But there's some really important things to remember when you do these to make sure you're doing them correctly. First off, I'm going to show you how to do them easier, and then I'm going to show you how to pump up the volume. The easiest way is to keep your knees bent. Whichever way you choose to do these, you want to keep your hips back towards the bench and your back straight. What I see people do wrong is they try to lift their hips away from the bench. That makes it easy. It takes the weight away from the work. So you want to keep your hips back from the bench, back towards the bench, and basically you want to skim your back against the bench the whole time. So your back should stay straight. So this is the easier way to do it, keeping your knees bent. Whichever way you choose to do it, you must come through a full range of motion. So you're looking at a right angle at the elbow. Now, if you're just starting, you might have to modify that a little bit. Okay, but that's what you're working towards. To make it harder, walk your feet out a little bit more. Okay, to make it harder still, walk your feet out more. Now, if you're really advanced, you can put your feet up on a ball. But the whole time, notice I'm doing a full range of motion, but I'm not locking my elbows when I come up. And I'm keeping my back straight, and it's basically skimming the back of the bench or the chair, whatever you're choosing to use. For power core, we're going to do planks and seated abs. Now, I have you doing planks for 30 seconds, which is gonna feel like 3 hours. If you need to take a break during the 30 seconds, go ahead, drop your knees, and then come back into posture, but don't sacrifice form to keep going. When you do a plank, it is critical that you put your body in one long line. Don't let your hips sag and don't lift them up. Keep them in one long line. So that means your glutes need to be squeezed, but more importantly, your deep abs are lifted up, your belly button's tucked up to the spine, and your head's extended. Don't sag in your shoulder blades. Lift up off your elbows, pull your shoulder blades apart, extend your head, and hold it. And you will feel your deep abs screaming if you're doing it correctly. Remember, if during the 30 seconds you need to, you can do this. Take a little rest, but don't sacrifice form, and then come back up. The other power core exercise we're going to do are seated abs. Now what you're going to do, bend your knees and you're going to roll down so that you're sitting past your tailbone. Don't sit on your tailbone, very uncomfortable. Roll past it and then take your hands off your thighs. If you need to cheat and use your hands on your thighs, go ahead. But the goal is to do this small range of motion. You'll feel your rectus abdominis, the long abs, contracting the whole time. And it's a very small range of motion. Again, if you need to, you can cheat by holding onto your back of your thighs a little bit with your hands. But ideally, you're just sitting right here. And again, it's a small range of motion. Okay, and you're seated past your tailbone. Okay, let's get started.